At this point, let's stop calling this cross-examination, because what we just witnessed is accusation without evidence. Baloyi stands in a court of law and declares Ntanzi a liar, not because he can prove it, but because he feels confident saying it. No facts, no witnesses, no alternative version, just pure, unfiltered audacity. And the question is, how is this even allowed to pass as serious law? Watch this carefully.
On the 22nd of July 2015, there's a payment received of 50,000. It says page 8 of 12.
Yes, we are there.
Payment received of 50,000. What was that amount for?
Lana ke manje. Okay. 22 July 2017 ukuthi ke namali wayithola 50,000 kwakuyimali yani.
Nasekhoti ngishelizo ukuthi bengizophendula ukuthi engcono ibhale ukuthi leave or imali yani.
I did say yesterday, my lord, that I was going to respond much better if it was indicated as to whether was it leave or what money was it for.
Now, in the final analysis, Mr. Ntanzi, we put it to you that the period which you say you were on unpaid leave from the 27th October 2014 to 31 October 2014, there are no transactions at all on your account.
Sithi kuwena ke isikhathi lesi ke owawu believe ngaso amalanga lana ke owungeke wakhokhela umsebenzini ukuthi akukho nje okwenzeka. Okay, asiwasho lamalanga 27 October 2014 kuze kuyofika ke 31 October 2015 ukuthi ayikho into eyenzeka kwi-account yakho ngalawo malanga lawo.
Nkosi enkantolo ngiyamuzwa lokho akusho ngoba namanje nje mangibhizi ngithi mina ngiyabuza ukuthi le mali oyimali yana impendula ngiyithola ingakho naqala ukuthi bengishilo phambi kwekhoti kuzoba nzima ukuthi mina ngiphendula ngale bank statement wanong mangibuza phambi kwekhoti i-answer ngiyithola.
I hear what the state is saying, my lord. But right now, as I am asking with regards to this particular amount, as to what amount this was, I do not get an answer. And I also did say before the court that it would be difficult for me to respond on this bank statement, my lord, because as I'm asking a question, I'm not being answered.
So, you can take up these issues with your legal representative. Can take up this issue with you.
Ummeli wakho ke udaba lolu ke uyena ke umuntu ongaxoxisana naye ngalo.
Yebo ngikuzwile lokho ngithi bekushona phambi kwekhoti nayikho into engiyiphendulayo.
Yes, I heard that, but you are the one who was saying that I am not responding before the court.
Ingakho ngisho phambi kwekhoti ngo 2014 bese ngiyi-B1 okudala manje mazothi imali elifu le 12,000 hayi mina ngikhomba ukuthi hayi angivumelani.
Hence I said before, or as I said before the court, my lord, that by 2014 I was already at B1 level at the mine. So if this amount is to be said that it was leave money, I do not agree with that.
We therefore posit to you, Mr. Ntanzi, that your version that you were at your home village in KwaZulu-Natal for the period starting 25 October 2014 to 31 October 2014 is untrue.
Siyasho ke noma siyakutshela ke manje mnumzana uNtanzi ukuthi ke inkulumo yakho yokuthi ke wawusemakhaya nge-27 October 2014 kwaze kwayoshaya 31 October 2014 ukuthi leyo nkulumo leyo ayilona iqiniso.
Nkosi enkantolo ngangisekhaya.
My lord, I was at home.
You never disclosed to the investigating team, in particular Sergeant Mokhani, testify that during the interview in the boardroom on the 17th of October 2020, you told them that you were at work on the 26th of October 2014.
Ukuthi lokho ke awukazi ukudalule kwithimba eliphenyayo uSergeant Mokhani ke kubufakazi bakhe abethula ukuthi ke lapha yana eboardroom nge-17 October 2020 owabatshela kona wena lapho ukuthi nge-26 October 2014 wawusemsebenzini.
Akakhulumi lona iqiniso Nkosi enkantolo.
He was not telling the truth, my lord.
Futhi Nkosi enkantolo eboardroom akaze ngikhulume noMkhani mina.
And also, my lord, in the boardroom, I never spoke to Mukhane.
And that was the reason why they went to retrieve your clocking records, Exhibit DD.
Nokuthi ke yingakho bahamba baya emsebenzini la osebenza khona beyothatha noma beyodonsa ke noma beyokhipha clocking record yakho.
Nkosi enkantolo ngiphinde ngiphendule lapho. Nkosi enkantolo amaphoyisa ogininda kimi eboardroom bathi mina angisebenzi ngihlala ehostel eFosolwazi ngumuntu wamateksi.
I repeat, my lord, at the boardroom, the police officers, the likes of Geninda, said to me or put it to me, my lord, that I was unemployed, I was residing in Fostoras, and I was in the taxi business.
Lokho futhi Nkosi enkantolo kufakazi lokho ubungihana ungene lapha ecourt uthi mina ngithengisa idakamizwe eFosolwazi ngithengisa ngasiphi isikhathi idakamizwa ngisebenza.
And that, my lord, to prove that it is evidence, Mukhane came to court and informed the court that I was selling drugs in Fostoras. Now, what time was I selling the drugs when I was gainfully employed?
Now, when Advocate Numalo asked you where you were on the 26th of October 2014, you said when you are not at home, you are at work. You never mentioned that you were at your village home.
Uma ekubuza ke noma uma wawuhlonya imibuzo kuyena uadvocate Nxumalo ukuthi wawukuphi nendawo ngazi 26 ku-October 2014 awukazusho ukuthi ke noma awushongo kuyena ukuthi wawusekhaya noma usemakhaya owakusho kuyena ukuthi uma ungekho emsebenzini usekhaya.
And that you had ceremonies to perform.
Nokuthi wawunemisebenzi okwakufanele uyenze.
Iphendula ngaphinda bamnquma mina iqondile ayikho lapha eGwembe khona.
The response that I gave to Advocate Nxumalo, it was a straight or a direct response. There is nowhere where it was an indirect response.
Nkosi enkantolo ngangeke ngicela amalanga amahlanu la ngicela ukuhlala eGoli.
There is no way, my lord, that I would have requested for 5 days only to just be around Gauteng, my lord.
When Advocate Mshololo asked you your whereabouts on the 26th of October 2014, you answered that since it has been established that you were not at work, you must have been home, but you never gave the version that you had ceremonies to perform.
Uma wakuzwa uyena Advocate Mshololo ukuthi wawukuphi ekhaya, ngiyabonga ngiyaxolisa ukuthi wawukuphi nge-26 ka-October 2014 owakusho kuyena ukuthi nanjengoba sekutholakele ukuthi wawungekho emsebenzini kusho ukuthi ke wawusekhaya kodwa ke awukazi ukusho lokhu ukuthi ke lenkulumo oyishilo manje ukuthi kwakunemisebenzi ekwakufanele uyenze.
Ngeanswer kaMama Mshololo akacasho ukuthi angichaze.
With the question that was posed by Advocate Mshololo, I was never asked, or she never asked me to explain or to elaborate.
When we began to deal with your leave records, we asked you as to what was the purpose of taking unpaid leave. You indicated that there was nothing in particular that you had to do. You wanted to tend to cattle, amongst others, and just do general work around the house.
Uma bese sekubuza umshushisi uthi yena ke umshushisi sekubuza ukuthi ke kwakuyisiphi isizathu esakwenza ukuthi ke uthathe ke amalanga la washo ke wena uphendula ukuthi cha akunazathu kwakungenazathu nje kwakuwukuthi ufuna ekhaya uyobheka inkomo nokuthi ke uqineke amaceke.
Isizathu ngisibekile phambi kwecourt.
I did mention the reason before the court.
You never mentioned at the point that you had ceremonies to perform.
Awushongo ukuthi kwakunemisebenzi ekwakufanele uyoyenza.
Umbuzo waqhamuka ngayiphi indlela ngise ngiphendule athe ngiphendule ngaphambi kweNkosi enkantolo.
In which manner was the question asked for me to answer like that before the court?
And in contrast, yesterday you said that the main reason why you went home was to perform the ceremonies.
Izolo ke wase uthi izathu sokuthi uhambe uye ekhaya ke kwakuwukuthi uyokwenza imisebenzi.
Phela ngoba ngimlapha eboxini ngizosikhuluma yonke into ihamba ibuye kimi engqondweni.
As I am standing here, I am here in order to answer for myself, so everything comes back.
And in your evidence in chief, you never mention anything about performing ceremonies.
Kubufakazi bakho ke uma uqala ubufakazi bakho ke usabuzwa imibuzo uyena ke ummeli wakho awushongo lutho ngemisebenzi.
Nkosi enkantolo ummeli wami akazange akhulume ngedate lapha ecourt ngishiya azange athi ummeli wami ngedate sowawukuphi kwenzakalanga.
My Lord, I did say this, that my legal representative never asked me about a date or to say that on a particular date what happened.
You also did not mention that you obtained a loan for the to finance the ceremonies.
Awushongo futhi ke nokuthi wathatha i-loan ukuthi ke ukhokhele imisebenzi leyana ke nokuthi ke noma ulekelele imisebenzi le owawuzoyenza.
Akazange ngibuze ummeli wami ngalokho.
My legal representative never asked me about that
Ngalesi sikhathi engilida lapha ecourt.
when he was leading me here in court.
You also never mentioned that the issue of the lobola, that you had to pay lobola for your partner. Only when we asked you about that did you mention that.
Notaba ke lokulobola awushongo lokho uzokhuluma kuphela uma ngabe sesikubuza ngako.
Ngiyakuzwa kokusho ummeli wami akazange ngibuze ngakho ekhathi engilida.
I hear what you are saying, but my legal representative never asked me about that when he was leading me.
Ngoba nawe khona izinto la ungangibuza ngaphambi kodwa engangiyibuzwa ngummeli wami.
Because as you yourself or you as well, there are certain things that you never asked me, which my legal representative asked me about.
Then this morning you mentioned that you went into the branch of Capitec in Nongoma on Monday, the 27th of October 2014. This you never mentioned in your evidence in chief.
Namhlanje ke ekseni uthe wahamba wayongena phakathi ke ebank kwaNongoma, into leyo ongakazeke uyikhulume ngaphambili noma uma ke ummeli wakho ekulida ngobufakazi.
Naye ummeli wami akazange ngibuze ngankosi enkantolo.
Even my legal representative never asked me about it, my lord.
As a court, please, my lord, can we take the long adjournment at this point? It's 6 minutes to.
There it is, a bold rejection of Ntanzi's alibi, with absolutely nothing to replace it. No location, no timeline, no evidence, just a statement thrown into the air, and we're supposed to treat it as fact? Let's be very clear. If you say Ntanzi was not at home, then where was he? Because right now, Baloyi cannot place him in Vosloorus. He cannot place him anywhere else, except inside Ntanzi's manipulated bank statement, inside a boardroom, previously placed him on cell phone, pinging all over the show, while he was actually in a prison cell. This is so ridiculous. So what exactly is he disproving? This is not dismantling a version. This is guesswork in a gown. And this is where it turns ugly. Because calling someone a liar in court, without evidence, is not strategy. It is an attempt to destroy credibility without proof. That is not cross-examination. That is character assassination, dressed up as law. And let's not ignore the bigger picture. This case has already been drowning in controversy. Questions about investigations, conflicting narratives, handling of evidence. And now, instead of tightening the case, we are watching the same pattern unfold in court. Big accusations, empty hands. If this is what the state brings to court, then the problem is no longer Ntanzi. The problem is the case itself. Because the state does not get to speculate. The state must prove. So if Baloyi cannot tell the court where Ntanzi was, then he has not weakened Ntanzi's version. He has exposed his own. You cannot call a man a liar when you don't even know the truth yourself. And even if you know it, you try by all means to hide it. So let's say it clearly. If you say he's lying, prove it, Baloyi. And if you can't, stop saying it. This isn't just a bad moment in court, it's a warning sign. Because when evidence disappears and accusations take over, justice is no longer being pursued. It's being replaced. If you're following this trial, you already know. These are the moments that matter. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Thank you for building this channel. Subscribe, like, hit super thanks. Because here, we don't just report, we interrogate what happens in court. Thank you for watching. I'm Skybridge. See you then. Bye.